Good morning, y'all. Give me one moment. Good morning, y'all. How you doing? Please bear with me for just a moment. I'm sitting here. It's early in the morning. It's if you're not in New Jersey, it's about 8:49. It's close to 9 o'clock, and I'm just sitting here preparing to take my meds. As you guys know, I'm diabetic. And so I'm just sitting here. I'm taking my meds. I've really been taking care of myself, guys. I really have. I really have been just really trying to be proactive and taking care of my health, realizing that I'm not getting any younger. And right now, my husband Joseph, he's at dialysis. So I'm up. I usually take my meds like around anywhere between 8:45 and 9 o'clock a.m. And just to give you a little insight on the medications that I take every day. Just want to show you. I take a host of medications for blood pressure, high blood pressure. Um, these are just some of them. These are just some of them. These are just some of them. That's five. Um, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and also 11. And then if you include my insulin, I take 12. And then I have another insulin that I take, which I can't find right now. Oh, here it goes. 12. So, I take about 12 medications every single morning. And on top of that, I take some supplements. I take cinnamon tablets, cinnamon capsules, actually. Cinnamon capsules, cinnamon has been known to help regulate diabetes. So that's why I take it. I take 2 capsules every day. And also, this is something my husband has put me on to, which has really been helping him, and that's black seed oil. I really don't care too much for the black seed oil because the black seed oil, sometimes it really can fool with your system. It affects me in a different type of way than it does him. So I take the black seed oil like every other day. And today is the day that I have to take it. I'm just preparing my insulin. But I wanted to show you guys this medication that I take for 2 reasons. One, because I wanted to show you that I do get up in the morning. I'm usually up at about anywhere from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Every day. And I get up and I take my meds. I test my sugar and I take my blood pressure. Here's my blood pressure machine. I have one of those blood pressure machines that you just put on the wrist because I have to continue to take my blood pressure now because of the kidney disease. It's very important to know. And in those of you that are getting older, this is a good investment. If you don't have blood pressure issues, you should always check your blood pressure. This is a very, very good investment. This costs about $39. And I gotta tell you a story about this blood pressure machine also. But like I said, I, I'm telling you all this to tell you this. Um, and uh, as you saw, the title of my live today is about speaking about my party, the Democratic Party. You know, a lot of people um, think that, you know, a lot of people of color think that you should vote for, you should include yourself in the Democratic Party is because is for it is for the black people. And that's just not so. That's just not something that's so. It's not um, just you shouldn't be a Democrat just because you're black. You should be a part of whatever party that you believe in. But I strongly have a very, very strong belief in the Democratic Party. Let me just say this. In my life, I used to be very judgmental about a lot of things. And as my life, as I grew older, that started to wear on me. And so I had to just shed that, you know, of being judgmental of people and the things they do, the lives that they live, things like that. I am an American that believes that everyone is entitled to live the life they want, you know, whether that be, you know, whatever the case may be, you know. I don't judge. I try not to judge. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but I try not to judge people based on the way that they live their lives and the things that they do, the things that they believe in. I believe that we can have disagreements with one another and still love one another. I believe that we as a people um, can can be respectful of one another. I think one of the most important things in this life is respect, and I think that's one of the things that we all strive for, as not only human beings but as Americans. We strive to be respected for whatever, you know. And I think that's one of the biggest things that has, especially I'm noticing a lot of millennials, a lot of the younger generation. I'm finding that a lot of reasons why a lot of the younger generation in the black community are in jail for murders and for, you know, just gang related issues, things like that, is because of respect and proving points. Um, and that is just sad. It's really sad that we feel as though we have to fight so much. And when I say fight, I'm talking about physically fight with guns and fighting and brutality and bullying and things like that. We feel like we have to fight so much in order to gain respect. And when you don't get your respect, the resort that you use is not the last resort, but the resort that most young of our younger generation uses is picking up a gun and killing one another. You know, you can't. It's like you can't allow anybody to talk to you like that, or you can't allow anybody to do this to you. And if you do, the first thing you do is you go get a gun and you blow somebody's head off. I mean, I watch A&E a lot, and I watch the first 48, and I see so many times, I see so much on this show how black men are going to jail for proving a point because someone disrespected them. And let me just say this to you younger generation and to the older generation, not just the younger generation. I'm talking about the older generation as well. But let me just say this to you. The world don't have no time for point proving. It don't. Point proving gonna get you locked up. Point proving gonna get you in jail for the rest of your life. Point proving can even get you the death penalty. And so I think that we have to learn how to restrain ourselves from certain situations. Whenever you find yourself in a situation where you feel like you want to do something that is against the law, such as picking up a gun or picking up a knife and shooting someone or stabbing someone. I've lost many of friends this way. Then think about your life. and stop thinking about what your life could have been while you're sitting in a jail cell. So with that being said, let me just move along with some of the reasons. I'm not gonna go over all of the reasons that I am a Democrat, but I will tell you some of the reasons why I'm a Democrat. Mostly the what's going on with me and my life with my husband right now, with us. These are just some of the reasons why I am a Democrat. The reason why I'm a Democrat is because of the not only the climate, the the climate that is going on in this country, the political climate, with the cost of health care, the cost of living, the cost of going to the grocery store, taxes, things like that, are just some of the reasons why I am really fighting, and I am standing behind the Democratic Party. And as you can see, I take about 12 medications every day. Now, let me just say this. I live on a fixed income. My husband and I, we both live on a fixed income. I am disabled, and so is he. He's disabled because of his dialysis. I am disabled because of a host of many things. But I will tell you this: if it were not for and I receive I have medical insurance, and Joseph does too. But our medical insurance, I hope my husband doesn't kill me for this. I really do. I hope he doesn't kill me for this, because I'm really putting a lot out here. But I really want to tell you of the importance of voting Democratic. If the Democratic Party gets control of the House, there will be a lot of things put into place that will save us, Joseph and I. And I can only speak for my situation. I can only speak for my husband's situation, for my family situation. And I mean, I have a mom that is that is retired, and I have a sister that is also disabled as well, and healthcare is very expensive. It's very expensive. I'll give you an example. This one insulin pen here, just one, and I get a limit of only 2 per month. This insulin pen costs a total of $480 per pen. That's without insurance. That's without insurance. This insulin pen, which I get 4 of every month, costs $75 a pen. It's about $500 for 4, I believe it is. But it's like $75. No, it could be more. It could be more. Yeah, it could be more. I haven't looked at the box lately, but it's about $75 per pen for this one pen. And this is an insulin that I have to take 4 times a day. This one I take once a day. I also have what they call diabetic neuropathy. And so in order to help me with my diabetic neuropathy, I take a medication, this medication here. This medication helps to calm the diabetic neuropathy down. Now, anybody that knows or have heard about diabetic neuropathy, what it does is it causes inflammation. It also causes overactive nerves, and for those of you that don't know what it's like to have overactive nerves in your, it causes your neurological system to just flare up and just go haywire. If you've ever got stung by a bee, That's what diabetic neuropathy feels like. Picture getting stung by, if you ever got stung by a bee, um, remember the pain of getting stung by a bee. Well, diabetic neuropathy is like getting stung by over 1,000 bees at one time, at any given, in any part of your body at any given time, or all over your body at any given time. It causes swelling, it causes inflammation, and this medication here costs $600. 600 for a 30-day supply. $600 per month. And I could go on. This is my cholesterol medication. My cholesterol medication costs about $500 per month for a 30-day supply. And my blood pressure medications, which I take 3, they range in price between $300 and $700 per month each. Now, if that person that's in our White House now had it his way, I would have to come out of pocket to pay for a lot of these medications. And if I had to do that, I would have to make a choice. I would have to make a choice to either not take the medication, or I would have to pay for it. Or I can pick and choose what medications I could afford. And what I will tell you is this: I would only be able to choose the ones that are essential to me. And the only 2 medications that are essential to me are these 2. And of course, I told you this pen alone costs $400. This pen alone costs about $75, and I would need 4 of these every month. The other medications I would have to choose not to take because I wouldn't be able to afford them. Right now, my husband, as he is dialysis, he is not provided with all of the medications that he should be having. And that's simply because he's not covered. That's now. Same thing with me. There are a lot of medications. If I were covered for the medications that I could take, that would make me a whole lot better. I'm not covered for those. I'm only covered for what they call generic medication. And that's really it. Some name brands, some generics. The Medicare system, in which I'm under, allows me to get some generic medications. And that's it. Sometimes I go to the pharmacy and my doctor may prescribe me something and they may say, oh, well, you can't get that medication. Your insurance doesn't cover it. Or we have an alternative for you. Now, in the beginning, I was always told that generic medication is really just another name for not the name brand. It's the exact same medication, but it's just not name brand. And I went along with that for a long time until I found out the difference. There's a big difference between taking a name brand medication versus taking a generic medication. So at this point in time in my life, I am only provided with, the generic medications. And don't get me wrong, I'm not ungrateful. I really am not. I worked very hard all my life, and I just so happen to have been fortunate to be in a situation where my disability is the money that I put into the system. That's what I get paid. But there are a lot of people out there that get a different type of disability. Those that didn't work in their lives, or like children that never had an opportunity to work, they get a different type of disability, and so their drug tier is even lower than what I'm getting. So I'm very grateful for what I get now in terms of the medication that I have. But leave it up to our president-elect. I wouldn't be able to get any of these medications. I would be limited even more. And so that is one of the reasons why I am a Democrat, is because the Democratic Party stands behind and will help me either keep the same medications that I have, or it will allow me to get some of the medications that I could get, and I would be taking less medication, which of course would put me in a better position health-wise. That's just one of the reasons why I'm a Democrat. Another reason why I'm a Democrat is because I know that, and I'm aware that the Democratic Party stands behind what stands behind my life as it is today. I am a gay married man, and 10 years ago, this would have never been. It just would have never been. I would have never been able to be married, legally married to the person that I love and I care about. I would have never. It just would have never happened. And I'm fortunate also in a way in which my husband's family they've been very good to me. They have been very accepting of me. They love me just like I'm one of their brothers or sisters. My Uncle Fred, he loves me just like I'm one of his nephews. And so I've been very fortunate in that situation. And I really believe that if there were no such thing as gay marriage and Joseph and I were together, they would still have treated me the same. There would be no difference in the way that they treat me now than, if let's say gay marriage wasn't legal. But believe me when I say this, and this is the importance of this is why the LGBT fight so hard to keep gay marriage legal, and that is because and believe me, I've seen some horror stories. I've seen and heard some horror stories. Just imagine, you've been with someone for 10, 20 years or more, and let's say their family wasn't accepting of them, or let's say their family was accepting of them. I've learned throughout the years, just based on my experience with things, that death can change people. It can change people a lot. And imagine being with someone for 10, 20 years, and then all of a sudden, they just die. You've built this life with this person. You guys you've bought cars, you've bought houses, you've bought, personal belongings together. You've gone on vacations, you've loved, you've lived, you've had a life together, all these great things. And then that person just dies and you're not married. Or let's say this person is sick and they're in a hospital with a severe issue. That family can come in and say, well, we don't want you to see him. We don't want you to see her. We don't want you to see him. And they can just ban you from the hospital and say, I don't want this person to see him. So imagine you've been with this person for 10, 20 plus years, and you've built this life together, and they end up having an illness or a terminal illness or something, and they're spending their last days in hospice or whatever the case may be. And their family decides that they don't want you involved. They can just shut you out, just like that. Imagine that. Imagine that. I know a lot of you heterosexual people don't think in that sense because when you get married, because you've always been able to get legally married. You don't think in that sense. But we as gay men and women, we have to think in that sense. We had to think in that sense. We had to endure that. We had to tolerate that. We had to tolerate families turning their backs completely on us and saying, no, we don't want you to see him anymore. We never liked you, you know. We only tolerated you because of him, you know. Um, and you're right, you don't have any rights. You don't have any rights. You see this? This is my marriage certificate. That's my marriage certificate. This certificate says that Joseph and I are married. And not that I have to worry, because I really don't feel as though I do. Not that I have to worry, because like I said, my extended family is very, very genuine and good to me. I don't have any issues. I love my sister-in-law. I love my brother-in-laws. I love my uncle, my new uncle. I love all of my new family, and and from what I see, they love me. You know, they don't treat me any different than anyone else, and so you know, in that department, I don't think I have any. I really don't think I have anything to worry about. But let's say the Republican Party does decide to. Let's say the Republican Party wins the House and makes a decision that gay marriage is no longer legal. This right here, this marriage certificate, this will be a souvenir of what once was. And that's it. So that is something that really lays heavy on my heart. It really lays heavy on my heart. Not because of, you know, I think that my extended family would shut me out in any type of way, because I really don't think that they would. But that's something that lays really heavy on my heart when I think about my community, the LGBT community. For those that still have not had the opportunity to be married, that is just it weighs heavy on my heart, because I've had friends that were in relationships with people for years and years and years and years, and I've seen how these families have come in. I remember one friend of mine, I never forget. His family, he passed away, and his mother and his sisters and his brothers, they came into this guy's house, and they took every stick of furniture that he had. They cleaned his house out, and there was nothing he could do. There was nothing he could do, because all of the receipts were in her son's name, and that could have been for many reasons. Who knows? All the receipts for the furniture, the TVs, you know, all of the, you know, all these things, and you know, yes, these are things that could have been replaced. They were things that were replaced. But imagine you having a life, you establishing a life, and you have your own house, and somebody just coming in and taking everything that you and this person has built together. Imagine them telling you, you have 30 days to move. Imagine it. Well, I'm telling you, that's what could happen. That's what could happen. There are people in this world right now, in the United States now, that they've been together for so long, they just have decided not to get married. Maybe they just haven't gotten around to getting married. So what happens to those people? Because like I said, death can change people. It can change people. I've seen it happen. I've seen it for myself. I've seen my friends open up joint accounts with their partners, and the family come and clean out the whole entire account. I've seen that. I've seen it for myself. I know. These are some of the things that could happen. This is what it can be. It can revert back to. And I know a lot of people say, well, I mean, you lived like that before, you can live like that again, but we don't live in that time anymore. Why should we have to? Why should we have to? Why should we have to live in that time? Why should we not have the same rights as you have? We deserve the same rights as you have. We work, we save, we build lives, we have children, we have families. We deserve to have the same family life as anybody else in this country. There's nothing different about me. I have a beard. I have a mustache. I'm still a man, and I'm not putting down those that transition into something else. I'm not. No, I am still a man. I'm still a human being. There's nothing wrong with me. Absolutely nothing wrong with me in terms of that. So, what's the difference between and Joseph and I? We love each other. We really love each other. We really love each other. We really care about each other. We really take care of one another. He takes care of me. I take care of him. So what's the difference in me being with the person that I love, taking care of the person I love, living for the person that I love, looking at a future with this person, building a future with this person, making sure that in the future that if anything happens to me, he's okay, and so on and so forth. What's the difference between that and you as a heterosexual couple? I'll tell you, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm not even gonna. We not gonna go. Listen, y'all don't want to go over the sex thing. Do y'all really want to go there? Do y'all really want to go there? Because you can't. You can't. But there's no difference. But if some people had it their way, there would be. Marriage is an institution for men and women. That's what a lot of constituents in DC feel. That's what a lot of them feel, but there are a lot of them that are on my side. And I feel like the Democratic Party isn't on my side when it comes to that. The Democratic Party is going to protect me. They will protect me from not having to worry about the person that I'm with being taken away from me, or the life that I'm building with that person taken away from me. So, with all of that being said, I've shared a little bit with you. With all of that being said, I am going to beg you and ask you to vote. It doesn't matter what party you vote for, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm going to vote for who I'm going to vote for. You're going to vote for who you're going to vote for. But it is important that you vote, and especially you millennials, especially you millennials. The voting registration for the millennials is down. They say it's down. And so you young people that think that voting is not important, that the man is never going to do anything to help us, and that there's never going to be any change, your thinking is wrong. Your thinking is wrong. You have to get up and you have to vote. If you've not registered, it's too late to register now. But there will be another big election coming up in 2020. Make sure that you vote in your local elections. Make sure that you do everything that you possibly can do for your voting rights not to be taken away from you, because it can be. Voting is it's a privilege. It's a privilege. Your rights can be taken away from you if you're a convicted felon. Your rights can be taken away from you if you do not vote in your local primaries, in your local municipalities. Vote. It takes for you to get up and go to a school or whatever place there is in your community to go and vote. Vote. That's it. That's all you got to do. Pardon me for a second, guys. That's all you got to do. Push a couple of buttons and flip a lever. That's it. And no, you don't even have to flip a lever anymore. Get out and vote. It's so easy. It is so easy. I promise you. It is one of the simplest things that you'll ever do in your whole entire life. A child can vote. A child can vote. Get out. Get out and get to the polls this coming November. Get out to the polls and vote. And I promise you, your vote will make a difference. But if you don't get out and vote, your vote will mean absolutely nothing. It's just a rubber stamp. That's it. It's just talk. That's it. Now, the Republicans think that they got this thing in the bag. They do. They think they got this thing in the bag. We have to come out. When I tell you, we as Democrats, we have to come out. We have to come out strong. We have to come out fighting. We have to come out. And we have to get the work. We have to do the work. You have to do the work. If you want something done, you have to do the work. You got to do it. It's not hard. Believe me, I'm telling you, I promise you. It's not like getting a shot. It's not like getting blood drawn or anything like that. Just get up and get to the polls. If you are registered, get up and get to the polls and place your vote. Let your voice be heard. Let it be heard. If you are registered to vote, it is your duty as an American citizen to get out and vote. Vote for the one that you believe in. Vote for the one that you believe in. We all have differences. Remember that. We all have differences. Remember that we all have differences. But the most important thing at the end of the day is respect. And I'm going to close out this live because I have to take my meds. I'm a little late taking them. But remember me when you go to the polls as well. Remember Joseph when you go to the polls also. And remember all these elderly people. Remember all these people that are disabled. Remember your mom, your dad that is on disability, that is on Social Security and gets a Social Security check every month. And don't think don't think just because they get a Social Security check every month that and they get Medicare that Medicare covers everything, because it doesn't. It doesn't. As a matter of fact, your Social Security takes away you, and we don't get that free. We have to pay for that. We have to pay a premium. So whatever little money that we are getting, they're taking a premium out of that for our Medicare. And that premium could go up if the Republicans have something to do with it. So remember that. Get out. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna say it nice. Get your ass up. If you're registered to vote, get your ass up and vote. This is Tremel McRae from the McRae Kingz Corner, signing off. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.